Hi everyone. I know I've shared this with you guys around November timeline when it was kind of showing how the way of return was looking. Then in December, mid-December, also run another run for those of you watching my video previously. Now this one, however, I do want to share with you and tracking these stock and see how they were looking at year end. And again, the stock, if you remember, and for those who have watched my previous video, these prices were really bought around August and September timeline. So just to give you an idea, bear with it. This percentage of return, so you get an idea roughly how long it took to get this return percentage I'm showing up, which is around 4 months, if you will. So really short period of time and give a really good return. And I actually, this is again, it's a financial plan that I have put together for one of my clients, and just to show you review. Of course, she didn't buy the stock. Well, she wanted to put $10,000, but so I put this together. But end up she didn't buy the stock for whatever reasons. But I do want to share with you because that's what we financial plan do. We spend the time and put things together in the spreadsheet. And it's easier just to changing numbers and play around with the modeling or whatever. Then you can see what kind of return or what is the price that should be selling at. So I would just want to show you a few one again. Because not a lot of money, I don't really endorse of diversification like other people do, but you do want to buy things probably necessary, probably at a different sector. Number one, and number two, also buy at discount. It is very important to buy at a discount. You only do pay for a premium if you're very confident and sure about that. The target of the price of the stock have very good fundamental potentials. Like growth stock as an example that will get to where you need to be and would like to be. So the first one, of course, is the big winner. For those anybody who have bought Tesla along the way, you will have make a lot of money. Just bear in mind this is I refer the price before the split because at the time I would recommend her to buy it. This is really before the split of Tesla and Apple. So this was the price that was able to you actually would be able to get that price if you buy it around that timeline. And then of course the rate the return today, which is actually $705.60 the end of December. If you would have paid attention to that after you get admitted to NASDAQ and they deliver the target of the cost and they will deliver and how great they talk about the ecosystem that they have, the stock actually have really skyrocketed to $880 a share, which means it will be 4,400. So if I would have changed it to 4,400, just to illustrate for you, the return apparently will be 311% return instead of 229.8%, which means my portfolio also will have changed a number a lot bigger, over $10,000, which actually will exceed over 100% return if technically she's still holding this share by this time. I do, however, recommend that either if anybody who hold a Tesla at this point, since she made so much money with the return of 229.8%, I recommend her going to sell half of the shares she owned, probably at $900, which is very close to that. If this week, if I had another momentum to push it through, a couple percent. The other big winner is Apple as well, which is 33% gain, which is doing pretty well. That was based off of the prices of 132.69 at year end. But the price actually is 132.05 on last Friday, which is January the 8th, which has slightly different, about a 1.94% decline if you hold it to first week January. But 2021. But anyway, this one I do thinking recommended to hold because of the Apple Card coming into play, and the intelligence automations and the application that now in the talk with Handy to borrow the technology. So any news and also increase of the production of the iPhone sales anticipated for next quarter. When the earnings come about Apple, I think you will hit over $140 or $150. So this one definitely will still advise my client to hold. Then the next one, Boeing, you kind of flat because it's like 209.90 cents if you hold it till Friday, January the 8th. So it's just slight $4.16 decline. Return is 14% return because it was pretty high, $187 purchases. It was $150 sitting there for a long time, didn't do anything, and then it sort of have the momentum to move up kind of. So then you were kind of buying at this level. But regardless, it's still making a good return, 14% return, which I actually would also advise my client to hold this. And I anticipate Boeing will hit $300. That's just what I'm thinking. It's just beginning of the year right now. Again, bear in mind, Boeing was actually $450 a few years ago, but then they got ran into the jet crash problem, and then with pandemic, so that's why the stock was really hit very hard to as low as $90. But again, this building aircraft is a very specialized technology and skill. So not many company can do it in the world. So Boeing definitely will be the stake once economy back in normal, and with the order of jet from United Airlines, American Airlines, so on. Next one, CODX. This one actually, unfortunately, $20 of losses. You end up 930 at year end, which is 53.5% losses. But if you're still holding it, which I probably would ask her to hold a little longer, is now rebounded at $11, which is $1.72 increase, 18% increase. Oppo will recommend to sell at $12 at a loss because this one really just not doing very well, and these stocks don't have typically take a too long cycle to get return and also get the earnings. So I wouldn't want to hold this for so long. Then the next one, MGM. It's very nice, 85% return as you can see. It's about $17, almost rebounded at year record high of the year, 52-week high. So the stock actually have a news about acquiring another company in UK, and the stock have kind of dropped down a little bit. But I will also advise to hold. I think the year target for MGM will be $38 this year, and especially with the acquisition, if comes into play, you have more possibility to earn extra income with the growth. It could actually go over $40. Then the next one, TPR, actually another great one that actually way over from $14 way over to 100% return, which is kind of shocking, even though they actually at a loss and not making money on the earning per share. But if you will have hold it till last Friday, the momentum still continue at $34.23, which is another 10% up. Then the Las Vegas Sands is also not as great return as it should be, 27.6%, but it's still very good considerably. This stock actually ended at $57.92 last Friday, which was down 2.8%. But I wouldn't sell this till hitting $65. I think that's the target for Sands. And then OXY, this one has slightly down a little bit, not that much. So I wouldn't worry too much about this one. And actually, by last Friday, you go back to $20.08. So I would say this one, since really didn't have a lot, the leftover money to trying to buy into something into it and weigh the average on it, I will hold on to it till you hit $40, $50 to sell it. I will hold it long because also actually at one point was as high as $80 per share. So if you look at the return of what I have advised the client a year, again, you bought it around August timelines, July, August, September timeline, because these price fluctuate a little bit depending on when actually would have got it. You will have a very nice return, 91.8% return versus if, I think last time in December 15 when I showed it to the video, it was about 81%. So this is really still huge gain, particularly if you also put a Tesla into it, then it's also over 100%. So Tesla definitely is a big winner for this year, and so does last year, and so does Apple. I do this year for this list of portfolio. If we still continue to maintain and hold it, I do see Boeing will have potential a great return. Tesla, like I said, will sell. Apple will hit another 15% will sell. CODX will sell for another $1, and I've saved this ticket as a loss. MGM has some potential, but not that much already because it's really hitting real high this year, but it could probably can hold for long till following year, 2022 and don't sell. TPR, this one actually they haven't been had a lot of challenges, difficult last few years. So for them to get back up to pandemic prices was kind of very amazing. So kind of worry about what if the earning didn't meet as well as expected in this year 2021. So I wouldn't, let's say, hold TPR. If you hit about 30 close to $40, I definitely would sell that. Especially his portfolio already make that much money. LV Essence, I think you can hold a little longer because once casino reopening, people with vaccine and all take the shot and lie back to normal. A lot of people will actually go to Las Vegas to have fun again. I'm very confident about that. So their earnings will definitely go back to where they were or even better. Aussie, I think this company is making good money. I mean, they're not green energy, but doing chemicals and other stuff, not just gasoline. So they do have some potentials there. We'll see how Biden administration impact the price of Aussie this year, and maybe potentially, like I said, because she didn't buy a lot. So if we hold it for another long time till next year or year after, then it really doesn't change in the much of the landscape, because she actually very happy about this portfolio which she have bought it. So I'm actually creating a new portfolio for her. This is just a record demonstrating my ability to help people to invest. So she was saying this time she will definitely follow and buy what I told her to, and I will share some of these stock with you guys with a setup, and then you can just kind of help and manipulate yourself and add some shares of the list, pick a few and track it from there. And then if I would like to use percent of return rather than the absolute dollars to see how much return I actually have. So you can do the same thing that way. If you only have $100 to invest, I mean you still to be able to buy MGM for a few shares, and you can still see the percentage of return. Should MGM will have grown to another, I mean from $31 to $40, I mean your return should still follow pretty well, 9 out of 30, which is about 10 over 30, it will be 30%, like 25+%, which is really still very outstanding and should beat the market, outperform the market and the indexes. Hope you like the video. Please give me a like. If you have any questions, feel free to give me comments. Have a nice and wonderful day.